everybody and welcome back once again to Let's Play Baldur's Gate 2, the Enhanced Edition. Here we are as we left off last time in the former keep of Lord Dearnese, now the keep, for the time being, of Lord Godan Firehammer. So it was the day after the night before. The night before, of course, brought forth a rather disgruntled merchant who is no doubt now lying dead somewhere with his head lopped off, for Lord Godan was not being spoken to in such derogatory tones, ordered the man's head off. Now the way the keep mechanic works is you gain notoriety points based on your actions. So for instance, dealing with these people that come in asking for an audience, the way you deal with them and deal with their situations will give you either notoriety points, may have a neutral effect, or may give you plus points. And I think there's a scale. The more notoriety points you get to a certain amount. I think the amount is 10. And basically the people revolt and you lose access to your keep.
I should make better use of time.
So as things currently stand, we gained a notoriety point by fleecing the people for some money, raised the taxes to get an instant 1,000 gold. So that didn't go down too well. And we also gained one for executing the merchant due to it being seen as a tyrannical act. Tyrannical, these people don't know tyranny. Godan thinks if they think that's tyranny, wait till they see if somebody really ticks him off. But you know, he kind of redeemed himself a little bit because he paid the maximum to get rid of the bandits, so that placated the populace a little bit. So you know, he taketh away with one hand, but then he giveth back with another, when it suits, of course. So we've rested up in our keep, taken the advantage of the comfy beds and the facilities to replenish ourselves and go through our bags. Tipped them all over the floor, we did, and people were picking things up and earmarking things that they could use and casting things aside that they wanted to sell, and you know, getting things in order. So as we did so, we identified a few items that we had gathered on our travels, and we found out that a couple of them were pretty darn useful. Starting out with this piece of armour, the Knight's Gift, +5 enchanted leather armour. Originally blessed by Shah. Only the greatest of thieves have ever owned this heavily enchanted armour, giving a +20% to hide in shadows, which is great for Hexad, of course. The essence of night has been said to be woven into this dark set of armour, so that it feels like normal armour but encloses the wearer in a mass of twisting shadows. We couldn't think of anything more appropriate for a Hexat. She is, of course, a great thief, and she occasionally struggles to hide in shadows, so this little boost will certainly be helpful to her. So hiding shadows with the boost, if we give her a little pick-me-up cloak as well, should be above her. Now 110. So as long as we keep this piece of armour, we will no longer have to put points into hide in shadow. We'll put our points into other things now instead, such as setting traps. Is the next one that we're going to start to power level, if you will, now that her find traps is also at 100 as well. So that's the first item that we picked up. The second item that we picked up, which was a little bit of a surprise, to be honest with you. I thought it was just a regular +2 +2 sling that we found. In fact, what we did find when we picked up that enchanted sling was not just a regular old Joe +2 sling, but it was Arla's Dragon's Bane, a +3 sling, a well-fabled sling belonging once to Arla Shorestep, a young halfling woman, I believe, who used this sling, as the tale would have it, to place a well-sharpened pebble through the skull of a green dragon mid-flight. Although some tales do vary, and some say that it was used to hit the dragon in the derriere. Well, so who knows which one is the correct tale, for it has been handed down through generations, and like Chinese whispers, the story got a little bit muddied. But nonetheless, this is quite a formidable sling, and therefore given to Nera. It does come with an ability. It's just the different bullets that we have. Okay, so a very nice weapon indeed. The other things that we picked up included Duskblade, which is a +2 halberd, which we will be selling because nobody has proficiency. And actually, Viconia also benefited. It didn't offer any additional bonuses, this weapon, but it is lighter than her other armour. And given her low strength, the lighter the armour, the better. It's +3 dark mail, which is chainmail with a degree of fire resistance. So it's an upgrade on her previous armour, just because it's lighter and it confers fire resistance. They both had the same armour class. So an upgrade for Viconia as well. So we didn't come out of that too badly, that little foray into the temple of Amaunator. So we also checked our journal. We were flicking through the pages and things of notes that we've no doubt been jotting down on our travels, and we noticed that the Umar Hills quest isn't quite ticked off as complete. But we did hand the quest in, because if you remember, or you couldn't see it due to the recording issue, which is not now present, I hope, we got a point of reputation decrease due to how we handled the situation when we fleeced Minister Lloyd for the last of his coin. So we definitely did hand it in, but it just doesn't seem to have gone noticed. Similarly, we sent him off. We told the minister about Madolf and the situation with the ogre at the north end of town. We have no inclination as to want to return to Umar Hills to check in with Madolf about that. Godan has certainly seen enough of that poxy village, so these will have to remain incomplete, I assume, because, as I said, Godan not returning there. Couldn't think of anything worse. So, a little bit irksome, but never mind. I had something else to say, but I've kind of forgotten. So the gist of today's session, then, is quite a simple one. We're going to return to Athkatla, because we have various bits of business there, mainly involving selling our wares.
What is my task?
Ooh, dear.
On my honor, consider it done.
And as I said in the last session, Nera sort of railroading Godan into visiting the Bridge District to
I will do my best.
Check in on the theatre, because she wants to see a performance. Now, if anybody else had have asked, Godan is certainly not one for watching theatrical performances. His axe crushing through the skulls of his enemy is theatre enough for him. But because it's Nera, well, he'll grin and bear it and go check out this theatre. Through gritted teeth, he agreed. Likewise, Corgan is certainly not one for theatre. But hey ho, what can we do? So returning to the city, and we'll start out in the Walking's Promenade, because we will check in and
my task.
Sell our wares first. Now we do need to buy as well as sell. We're going to pretty much go through every merchant in the city and see what's on offer, and see what we want, see what we need, see what's within our price range, because there's a load of items, especially in the Adventurers Mart. There's loads of things that kind of look like, ooh, that'd be handy, that'll be nice. But we can't splash cash on things that look nice. We need practicality and affordability. So Godan's going to analyse the situation and see what he wants to purchase with his newfound fortune. But that will have to wait for another time,
As you ask.
aka off camera, because it's going to take me a while to go through things. I'm going to make some notes and things, and it's the kind of thing I want to do at my leisure,
Yes,
rather than feeling rushed on camera to go through the various stores and stuff.
it shall be.
But on camera, of course, we can certainly sell our wares
Ribald Bartman at your service.
and start to see Godan's fortune growing. Begin to see it grow and grow and grow and grow. So opening up the bag of holding we have and selling some of these things. So the shield amulet, for instance, we've got rid of some of the quest items from our bag now. We've left them behind in the keep, in a junk drawer somewhere. The journals, the scrolls, the things that we don't need anymore. The flail of the ages, the cat food, the mail of the dead, getting rid of that. Katanas, Ibratha +1 weaponry, short sword +1, a large shield to boot. Oh, we've got some longbows, ×3. Got 3 long swords, not selling for much. Got a plate mail, we've got splint. Some of these we would never collect ordinarily, but because we have such a large storage space due to the bag of holding and the fact that the weapons and the items don't weigh anything in the bag of holding, essentially, we might as well even collect this small fodder, this small, very meaningless vendor trash, because it mounts up, it adds up through time. Even so it is worth it. He's getting the Corthala the Corthala family armor and blade appraised here, and much as he expected, it is worthless. This Corthala fellow was probably a fraud. He says, whilst just kind of peering into the bag, pulling out these items, and then seeing his body in the bag of oh yes, I forgot about that. Yeah, just sort of skirting round the body, picking out the longbow, katana. We've got spear +1, two-handed sword +1 ×4. These are quite nice. The nearest sling +2. The wands of lightning we are selling because they are just recipes for disaster. I don't think we can't sell them to him for some reason. Somebody else must want to buy those. Yeah, these are just recipes for disaster. They really are. So we're not going to use them because the bolt just flies around all over the place. I mean, it could be used in a situation where you lob it in a room and then shut the door and leave it to bounce around with the enemy in there, but it's going to be limited use, so we just might as well sell them. The ashen scales, the orc leather armor, selling 1 antidote because we have the elixirs of health, and selling 12 of them. These are surplus, and 24 of them as well. So 10,000 gold from items that we are selling here. That is quite nice. Quite nice indeed. Oh, he did pick up the he did pick up the wands. Okay, cool. Close the container, move swiftly on to Viconia, who's got several bolts to sell. So selling all of the bolts of lightning, all of the bolts +1, all of the darts +1, all of the darts of wounding for an extra 1,000 gold for all of those. If you wondered why she was carrying them around, you see, there you go, 1,000 gold just like that for a few darts, a few poxy darts, And then Jaheira's gems. Sounds like a store. Sounds like a store, doesn't it? You could open up your own gem shop, Jaheira. Jaheira's gems when when we retired from adventuring. Right, silver necklaces and diamonds are useful for the items for Neera's quest line. Talismans, so keeping those, but selling everything else. Okay, so let's get rid of some of them and that. The bloodstone amulets. The Tsar gems, the necklaces, the King's Tier, 1,200 for a King's Tier and 1,500 for a Rogue Stone. That's 3,000 in gems. So Godan's fortune has escalated, increased, risen to 31,518 gold pieces. Bring a smile to his face, no doubt.
What is my task? Consider it done. On my honor.
Similarly, as night begins to draw in,
Yes?
similarly,
Waiting for you, sir. We are waiting for you, sir. Right in this way.
It shall be.
This way.
we'll be also addressing Nera's spells. A prophet stood in the middle of the square. Is this?
I trust you are here in good faith.
Okay, we're being approached by a priest of Talos here. Beware the streets at night, my children. There are strange things taking from the coffers of your lives. Best invest in the day to be certain of many returns. Yeah, what is he speaking of? Have things changed in the city since we were last here? You're talking about random, cutthroats and poxy robbers on the streets. We've dispatched those many times before now. Of the darkness that threatens the trade of day, of the takers of coin face bloodletters foul, walk not the streets beyond the last call of day. Yes, yes, yes. Godan brushing him aside. He has no time for this. Leave me to my travels, he says. If such is your wish, then you shall have it. I bid you safe business. Yeah. Godan was interested to speak with this woman standing in the middle of the square here.
What is my task? Consider it done.
Pray and come with us
You!
and be found worthy.
One of the faithless with your sight, bow down to the unseeing eye and acknowledge his divine majesty. Oh, the unseeing eye. Yes, we have heard of these people, and we certainly do not wish to be speaking with them. Acknowledge his might, the unseeing eye is everywhere, you shall all bow down before him. The faithless, I see only the faithless before me. I see
On my honor.
a mad wench stood in the street without any eyes.
I will do my best.
Okay, so I can't remember where I was mid-conversation. I think, yeah, Nera's scrolls and spells. There's some spells that she still needs to learn. Some scrolls that she has that we can sell now. Some that some repeats we are keeping for casting as additional spells if she runs out. And there are probably some scrolls that she wishes to.
Yes, civilization. I can work with this.
Scrolls that she wishes Godan to purchase for her so she can learn yet more spells, scrap them into her book. So we'll sort that out whilst we're sorting out what else we wish to purchase. Right, so there's some little odds and ends that we wish to tidy up before we go and watch the late night theatre production. Hexat. Put her other cloak on.
Yes? Yes.
Now that we've sold our wares, we're now going to head to the government district to speak with, was it Tolgarius?
Very well.
To tell him that we have
What is my task?
accomplished the task that he laid down for us. This looks a bit ominous.
Done.
In the name of the council, I am here to keep order.
Halt! Drop your weapons and keep your hands and fingers where I can see them. Go down taken aback here. What's going on? Seems things have kicked off in the city since we were last here. People spouting nonsense about dangers in the night and now accosted by Armenian guards whilst we are walking here to the old government building. Are you sure that's some of them? Don't look like them. I ain't taking any chances. You saw what happened to the commander. Look at the way they are equipped. It could be them. At ease, soldier. I'll not have you running around accosting people on my watch. Sir, he was just making sure they were not a threat. These people are not who we are looking for, I am certain. We'll cause panic if we accuse everyone. You, have you seen anything suspicious or unnatural lately? Okay, so definitely something has happened in the city whilst we've been away. That strange confrontation in the in Wild King's Promenade with that priest, and now this. Yeah, Godan asking for clarification here. We have no idea what he's talking about. We've been out of the city for several days. There have been reports of fighting in the streets at night. Something to do with the supposed Shadow Thief Guild and arrival. Oh, that? Well, we know about that, if that's what they're talking about. We've got nothing to fear. Of course we are members of the rival guild, but they don't need to know that, of course, do they? If you do see something, just keep your distance. I've already had uninvolved people go missing, and I don't need any more. Keep out of the streets at night, citizens. All the decent folk are asleep at these hours anyway. So it sounds like the game is giving us a warning here, and that warning might well be that if we travel around at night time,
As you ask.
we may be attacked by shadow thieves, given that we are now part of the vampire guild. It's worth bearing in mind. But as Godan has spoken plain to the priest, cutthroats, robbers, and even low-level shadow thieves.
Yes,
Nothing for us to be worried about.
it shall be. Consider it done.
Okay, so we have some good news for Tolgarius,
What is my task?
because we have Vanagar Corthal's body just stashed away in a bag of holding, but nonetheless we have achieved what we set out to achieve.
I await your word.
I am one of the few who are chosen.
Ah, I see that you have returned, and returned with the murderer's body in your possession. Most excellent. Yes, Godan now turning to his little ring of human influence, perhaps giving it a bit of a rub for extra added charisma, using also his history and knowledge of bartering in such circumstances to state that you weren't quite so truthful with what you need his body for. Now that we know what you need his body for and the importance of such a body to your operations, perhaps you will be willing to pay more for it. We did go to quite some difficulty in tracking him down. Fool! I shall not be deterred by the likes of you. We shall have a reckoning elsewhere, and then I shall take the ranger from your dead hands if need be. Oh dear. Oh, Godan. There goes information about Imoen. There goes our reward, and perhaps a confrontation with the Cowled Wizards now? Oh, that was not Godan's finest piece of bartering. Oh, dear, 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 dear. Godan, just take what you're offered, man. Tolgarius has stormed off, accusing me of betraying him and the Cowled Wizards. Something I may come to regret if they decide to retaliate against me for it. Oh dear. Oh no. Godan. Okay, so I'm assuming we still have... Yeah, Vanagar's body is now still in our pack. What are we going to bloody do with it? I mean, we... We're probably going to be ambushed at some point now, aren't we? By Cowled Wizards. Never mind. Oh.
Nature's servant awaits.
Never mind. Right. I'm not going to change the spells here, but I seem to recall leveling up with somebody. Yeah, there's a level 6 spell going here. And another couple of spell slots for Vaconia, and maybe even Nera as well. Yeah, level 5 slot for Nera. So we are going to rest in the Myth Rest before much longer, so we'll have to sort the books out.
Yes, consider it done.
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
Okay, quick save it.
What is my task?
We have to live with our actions now.
I will do my best.
We have perhaps made an enemy of Tolgarius. Never mind. When we least expect it, no doubt when we are at our most weak, when we're haggard and battered and our spells are being expended after a particularly challenging quest, they'll show up. You can just bet your bottom dollar, can't you?
Yes, on my honor. Very well.
Okay, so evening entertainment, people. Evening entertainment. As per Nera's request, we are now going to head, I believe it was the Five Flagons. Where there is a theatre in the lower level. We're going to visit the late night showing for some light entertainment. After all our adventuring, it's nice just to, you know, have some time off. Whilst Nera is enjoying the performance, I'm sure Godan instead will be enjoying the liquid refreshment that he'll be consuming whilst the performance is going on. And who knows, maybe in his drunken stupor, he may start to enjoy himself, you know, joining in, shouting out, causing all kinds of disturbances.
What a crowd! This place beats most of the inns back in Baldur's Gate. And let's not even talk about the High Forest. There, an inn is considered busy if there's more than one raccoon in the attic.
And already Nera excited about this place. Looking forward, no doubt, to the theatre show. But it's run by dwarves, and from what I can remember, you can actually rest in royal rooms here. So the quality of the place, yeah, there's a bit of lick of paint or two on the walls, but the quality of the drink and of the rooms and the theatre, it's got its own theatre, a bit of entertainment as well. I suppose it is not a bad place to rest between adventures, and for starting some. What on earth does he mean by that?
Also drinking.
There is that as well. She knows Godan too well.
Speaking of which, I sure am thirsty.
Well, who says we have to rush down to the theatre right now? We've got a bit of time, perhaps a bit of pre-drinking is in order.
Yes, please.
Oh, good. Oh, we like how she's thinking. But we don't think we have forgotten about what she told us last time. No. Well, maybe it was just flitted to the back of our mind a little bit. The fact that she went with somebody else after she left us and did the same to him. Just push it to the back of the mind for now. So let's enjoy a good time in the Five Flagons.
I'll have a Shadow Dark Ale. Get one for yourself while you're at it.
Shadow Dark Ale! She is definitely trying to get in Godan's good books here. This is uncanny. Suddenly, she's turned into a drinker. Godan likes a drink. And now suddenly she wants a Shadow Dark Ale. Godan's choice of tipple throughout his adventures in Baldur's Gate 1. He's turned to Dragon's Beer now because that's a slightly better quality brew, but Shadow Dark Ale is always a welcome choice if there are no alternatives. All the time we travelled with her, we never knew she liked Shadow Dark. Or does she? What game is she playing? Okay. Godan, okay. I mean, this is probably tongue-in-cheek, but I don't know if the game would take it literally, and she might take umbrage with that. But so we'll be back. Your generosity knows no. I don't see you dipping your hand into your pocket to offer me a drink.
That hits the spot. I could get used to this. Interesting people all around, music, an ale in my hand.
We're not going to push it too far. Not going to push it too far. That niggling thing at the back of his mind is just still there. Yes. Very nice indeed. Sipping away, good company. Certainly could get used to living the quiet life. When compared with adventuring, of course.
No one attacking us, no explosions, no crazy wizards. I don't count. No sudden deaths. Nope. This can't last.
Exactly. Speaking from experience, given our last adventure into the temple, I mean, a lot of these things happened. Explosions, near enough. Attacked, yeah. Crazy wizards, crazy undead things. And a Shade Lord. Sudden deaths, yeah, Viconia fell. Yes. All very, very taxing indeed. But we must enjoy it while we can, for we have things to do. Godan having to bring them all crashing back down to reality. Ooh. So there we go. A little bit of respite.
On my honor.
Before a second bit of respite, which is now going to see a show.
You must gather your party before venturing
Pleasure
forth.
to meet you.
Fair eve to you, sir. The troupe of players is just beginning its next performance. If you wish to partake, we ask that you donate 5 gold for a ticket, but it is not required. Would you like to purchase a ticket then, sir? Go down in. What kind of play is this? After a few ales, you know, getting a little bit maybe into it. Maybe he's interested. It is a most dramatic play put on by the 5 members of the Sigil troupe. 'Tis better to see than to be described. Would you like the ticket then, mayhap? It's optional to pay the 5 gold, but you know what? Few ales, Nera glancing at him as if to say, oh, come on, give her 5 gold over. These poor people work hard. We're going to enjoy the show. It's worth 5. Okay, fine. 5 gold it is. Here you go. Most gracious of you, sir. You may enter the theatre as you wish. Just show your ticket to yon ushers, please. All right.
Yes. It shall be.
In we go.
Yes?
Thank you, sir. Go inside. Hope you enjoy the play.
What is my task?
Sir,
Consider it done.
have a wee look, shall we? Oh!
Your lover has abandoned thee, sweet Lunesia. You have only one option left. Turnest thou to me, and let us be wed at last.
Okay, so yes, Godan's sipping on Shadow Dark Ale for the past few minutes or so, you know, half an hour, give or take. He's rushed straight to the front of the theatre. Getting a closer look. Who's he trying to fool that he doesn't like theatre productions? Godan, we know you've got a little bit of, this kind of creative streak in you occasionally to appreciate fine art such as theatre. No need to deny it.
No, Ronaldo, I cannot. Oh, Rodrigo, my fair love, where hast thou gone?
Here I am. Here I am, my, sweetums.
Yes, Rodrigo, it is thee at long last. But where have...
I've been, across the sea, my fair one. Yes, that's it. Across the sea, and,
Say, that's not the actor they had last time.
And perhaps on the new lands, my lord?
Yes, that's it. On the new lands. Yes,
Where's the actor that was here last time? Ugh.
This is terrible, awful.
Oh dear.
But is it Rodrigo? No. How can this be?
well, you should be, so, confused?
It is confused, right?
It is baffled. Baffled!
Baffled, yes. Well, you should look so baffled, my lord. Kironaldo. 'Twas you who...
Terrible. Get him off the stage.
Sure, Godan is, not one for seeing many theatre shows. Even he realises there's something wrong. This guy doesn't know his bloody lines. Come on, he's shouting. Come on, spit it out. Putting extra pressure on him.
Which that, in a way...
Arranged for me to be shipped across the sea.
What's that?
Yes, you are correct, Rodrigo. 'Twas I that arranged for thy trip across the great ocean. 'Twas, truly fiendish of me, but how did thy ever come to return so quickly?
I forget. I'm just the understudy.
Now he's really buckled.
I refuse to watch this.
I refuse to watch this.
I agree. Boo! 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 That's awful. Hannibal!
Oh dear.
Oh God! Go down, turning to the. This is what you've dragged me to.
I am sorry, good folk of the audience. As you can see, things are not quite right with our troupe due to circumstances beyond our control.
Okay, so this looks like the head of the troop, perhaps. Something is not right. Something's gone wrong. Obviously, something's gone wrong. Go down, saying, chirping up here with the rest of the hecklers. Well, I was thinking that something stank like the sticks, and it'd be fine to see my senses were not deceived. Good thing I did not pay to see this,
I beg of you, good people, come back another day when we have restored matters. We shall prove to you then that the Sigil troop is worthy of your attention and coin. And we shall do so for free, of course.
Corgan may not have paid, but Godan coughed up 5 gold pieces for this tripe.
And one final odd request, good folk. If you or another knows of those who are skilled in the arts of sword and adventure, do send them to speak to me. It is a matter of utmost urgency. Tell them to come and speak to I, Realis Shy. Until then, I apologize again and bid you a fair evening.
Realis Shy. So, indeed, it seems that the playhouse is in need of some adventurers. Realis Shy is asked for any interested to go backstage and speak to her about whatever has gone wrong. Now, Godan about to spin on his heels and storm out with the rest of the congregation. But Nera's kind of just. There's obviously something amiss, and she did promise a free showing. And I would really like to see the show properly, with the without the incident. Just go see what's happening. You know. They may pay you for your services. Appealing to Godan's, say, not good side, but greedy side, because if there is a reward, she knows he can hardly resist. We'll check it. We'll see what they have to say, but unless there's something decent up
on my honor
as a reward, I don't really care to
I await your word.
Help a theatre troupe out for the reward of a free showing. Okay, so here are the performers, and here is Realis Shy.
Yes? It shall be.
Hello. I am afraid if you are looking for a refund for tonight's performance, I can only tell you to come back when our troupe is not in such disarray.
Yes, well, as much as I would like a refund for that shambles, Godan starting the conversation off with, I'm actually here about these adventurers. Is it true, child? Fate smiles on us then, for I can see in your bearing that you are a man of no mean experience. I thank you for coming to our aid. Yes, we haven't agreed to anything yet, but asking her to explain what is required. You must hear our story then. One of our actors, Herr Delis, has been kidnapped by a wizard native to this city. He has made no effort to negotiate with us. The wizard's greed may have called to him at the sight of Herr Delis his beloved gem. Something our sparrow would not gladly surrender. So this wizard has stolen both away, and there is nothing we can do. I would ask that you return our sparrow and his gem to us both, by whatever means possible. So probably one of their main actors has been stolen away by a wizard, a greedy wizard, because he wants his gem? Who is this wizard? And where can we find him? His name is Mekrath, I believe. I know that his lair can be accessed through the city's sewers. Though where exactly it lies is a mystery. Well, we have seen sewer entrances in the temple district of all places, and we are going into the sewers, potentially, to tackle this cult of the unseeing eye. So whilst we're down there, it wouldn't hurt to keep an eye out for Mekrath in the process. Cutting to the chase here, what kind of a reward might we be looking at for our services? For they do not come cheap. We are but a destitute troop of players, child, and can afford little. Mekrath may have treasure of his own. Wrest it from his grasp if you wish to do so. But coin is air on the tongue. I can offer you 300 gold for our sparrow's return. Bring back the gem, and I can more than double that. Is that so? Okay, the gem. 600 gold. Well, if we didn't already have business in the sewers, then this is really not something Godan would be busying himself with. As unfortunate as it is, and even with Neera's nagging about he wants to see the show properly, bring him back so we can watch the complete show, for 600 gold would really be scraping the barrel, But 600 gold, we're already going into the sewers, and this wizard is greedy. Greedy wizards particularly probably have a treasure trove of magical artifacts, trinkets and treasure that he's just hoarding and keeping to himself because he's greedy. So there could well be loot and plunder to be had just from slaying Mekrath. Items perhaps for Neera to use, magical items. So given that, we're already going to the sewers, Neera's nagging. 600 gold doesn't even touch the size now that we're 35,000 gold pieces in our pocket. 600, what's 600 gold? It's nothing. It's a drop in the ocean now. But all the combinations of the circumstances, we'll look into matters. Fly then, fetch our brother away from his captor however you might, and return to us soon. My prayers go with you, my good man. Okay, so free Herr Delis from imprisonment. Update. Oh, there you go. Free Herr Delis from imprisonment by Mekrath. So whose laboratory is accessible through the sewers? I am to retrieve Herr Delis from the wizard, as well as locate a jewel that belongs to him. Okay. Well, we're not going to go rushing off just yet, of course. We are going to...
what is my task? Consider it done.
Rest up in the myth rest, do some shopping, and then consider where we go next. Because in addition to nagging about wanting to... there's probably not much worth looting here. We'll leave it for now. About wanting to see a theatre show, she's also just beginning to get a little bit... of itchy feet regarding her little circle of friends in her refuge. wanting to check back and see what's going on, considering that last time we
On my honor.
saw one of them, it wasn't in great circumstances. So we're going to have to just get to that sooner rather than later. There's also Hexat's personal quest.
Yes.
Looting some tomb for her employer. So there's quite a few things to keep us busy. Just a case of where we go initially.
Yes.
But for the time being,
Very well.
there is one place we need to be. And that is at the Mythrest. For Dragon's Beer awaits, as do those comfy beds. And then in the morning, we'll do some shopping. Looking at what we can spend our hard-earned coin on to improve our lot in life. Be it spell, weapon, armour, or just general items. Who knows? Godan will certainly make a decision or two. And then after that, when I start the next recording, after our shopping spree, we shall decide where we are going to go next. So join me for that. Until then, see you soon.